What's the deal, YouTube? It's your boy Next Gen 720, and we're back with our weekly podcast. A lot of shit to be said. A lot of shit to be said. Um, it is what it is. Hey, crap, you want to start? What's going on? Talk to me. What you pissed off?
Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you first. First of all, I'm going to say I'm flabbergasted and I'm a little bit pissed off and ashamed at certain gamers. All right. So as we know, the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare trailer leaked early, and within that same goddamn day, did we not have someone trying to count the pixels to guess the resolution on what the Xbox One version was going to be
Wait, hold
come
on.
November?
Wait, you can count the of a compressed video over YouTube. You can count pixels in that.
Well, no, you can't actually. That's the funny part, all right?
Oh.
You looking into it, you can't actually take a compressed YouTube video from a cutscene of a game and count the pixels and accurately decipher what the game's resolution is going to be. And actually, the article from what Eurogamer put, they said that it was totally clickbait. They said the next Call of Duty is going to get a resolution bump with Advanced Warfare. Insinuating that it's going to be a slightly higher than 720, which Ghost ran at. But as we know, Ghost came out as a rush job at last year, so obviously there's going to be a resolution bump. But they make it sound like fact. And then even in the article they say we don't want to jump to conclusions, but there they are jumping to conclusions, and all the Sony fans jump on this. I did a video saying, hey, Xbox One is the lead platform for this, which it is, and they're getting the DLC and everything, and everybody comes back into that video and they're like, hey, what do you think about this? Ha ha, motherfucker. It's only going to be 820. It's only going to be 820p. I'm like, do you understand this? Look, you cannot tell a resolution based on a cutscene from a compressed YouTube video. You can't do it. You guys sound like idiots. The fact that you're even trying to do this is baffling my goddamn mind. I do not understand it. Since when do gamers do this? Are we going to sit there and start fucking counting goddamn pixels on every fucking game that we see?
Going crazy.
Are we ever going to do this? Are we going to do the next Killzone? Are we going to fucking go and make sure that every goddamn Sony game isn't using temporal projection? Hey, let's make sure they're not fucking using that bullshit.
Well,
hey, let's put the fucking... Hey, no, hold on.
Hey, crap. What it is, they got too much time on their hands, crap. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say it's a lot of hoof clicking.
Since when is this okay for gamers, though? When is this okay behavior? I mean, as gamers, we should be a little bit pissed off about this. And
traditionally, it was done when they released the game. You know, and I mean, Trial Fusions, all of them, they did it where they released the game. You know what I'm saying? They tested it, then that's when they test the resolution and all that little stuff. But
yeah,
to
that's
do
when you do it, okay? And Digital Foundry usually does that, and that's to be expected. But to jump on, what is the point of them doing this? Tell me, anybody in the comments in the world, any of you guys, what is the point of taking a YouTube compressed video with cutscenes and counting the individual pixels on that? What is the point of that right at this point in time?
I can tell you what it is.
Butthurt.
No, I can tell you what it is.
What is it?
It's to prove that their opinion should be your opinion. It's to get you to buy what they think is, for them, the best. That's why it's so sad. And let me help you out with the next Killzone. We won't have to test the next resolution for the next Killzone because it's going to be in 4K.
Oh right, yo man.
4K with temporal projection, maybe.
Yeah, it's crazy. Man.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, hold on. Are we gonna take Drive Club and all these Sony exclusives and fucking take the trailers and run a frames per second monitor on there, huh? And say, hey, this one's only 22 and a half goddamn frames per second, goddamn Sony.
I've never
Drive Club's 30 frames per second. Right?
I'm baffled by it too.
Listen,
this is crazy.
Closing on 2 years, year and a half. I've never seen someone take the trailer and count the pixels. Like they look. Oh, hold up. So why a fuck? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's hate.
That's
You know.
Yeah. You hit it on the head there.
You know what? You know what's crazy? I'm gonna still line for Big Kahuna. Shout out to Big Kahuna. He said to me in his video, if you guys are not subscribed to him, if I'm mindful enough, I will put a link down below. He made a good statement and proof. He said 1080p does not mean always the graphics is better. He said, take Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man. That's native 1080p. And you take Rise. Rise fucking rips Spider-Man to the fucking shreds. And Rise is only, what, 960p or some shit? And
900, yeah.
Native
900.
Yeah, whatever the fuck, and Spider-Man is native 1080p. And again, it doesn't make the game always looks better. Now, the cutscene of Call of Duty looked great. I'm not a big Call of Duty dude. I hope the gameplay looks as good as that, and gets, with the whole suit, and I might hop on it, but I'm not a big Call of Duty dude. But that's sad though. Shit, like that's some real.
Hey, can we all agree the game? I mean, from what we saw, it looked good. I mean, I thought that
It
was
do
Kevin
look good.
Spacey. I thought that was
Yeah,
Kevin
good.
Spacey, right?
Yeah, it
so
did
we're
look
all
good.
saying, as gamers, as legit gamers, we're all saying, hey, we might not buy this because Call of Duty's played out, but that looks good. It's an improvement. It looks really good,
Oh,
right?
man.
That's what we think, right? And then you got these
that-
fucking
that game
extremist
blew me away.
motherfuckers, these absolute asinine people that are giving gamers a bad name, counting the motherfucking pixels on a fucking cutscene.
Jesus Christ, man.
Hey,
Hey, crap.
Go have some
Bring it
coffee
back
and a
a
cigarette,
thousand.
man. Coffee and a cigarette.
Scrap what answers. Yeah. At the end of the day, I think, like I said, I think this whole pixel shit is getting a little redundant, But that's just me. If I play this, if they never said what system that what Trump was from, they wouldn't know what
Would have been done.
Great point. They would have never done that.
I just call it the hate. You know what I mean? Now I would say this: that trailer, looks graphically better than the trailer that they had for Ghost.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
But at the end of the day, it is what it is, man. Now you worry what you said that what you said that some industry insider, said that the developer said that the PlayStation version of what's going on with that?
The developers of the new Call of Duty game are going to be playing it in their homes personally. They're going to be buying the PlayStation versions personally to play in their homes because I guess that infers that that's the better version. So my question is, well, did they tell this to you? Did you speak to the developer? And also, the developer that the person was quoting, they were saying that it was Infinity Ward, which clearly it wasn't because the developer Sledgehammer Games.
Oh, wow.
And hey, just to be clear, it's NeoGaf, supposed insider Thuwei, who has been proven wrong time and time again, and has been proven to be a Sony.
Yeah, I just found it strange, when somebody says, trust me, the developers will be buying this version to play in their homes. That implies that you spoke to them and they told you this.
Yeah, you know what? You know what's crazy? Now, we're not talking. When you think about Call of Duty, real, you think about multiplayer. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's why Microsoft's paying for that DLC.
You think about multiplayer, and I'm being real. I'm not, trying to be a bigot or a fascist, but multiplayer games run much better on Xbox Live. It is what it is. So if they're saying that they're going to buy it for the PS4, and it's like, come on, goddamn. Like I said, the Xbox One is going to have all the DLC first. That doesn't even make any fucking sense. Like, Jesus, man. These fuck that guy. Listen, man.
No. Hey, next year, what it remind me of? Remember what you call it? Just made that video, Showstopper, when the dude sucking the dick and shit. That's what these motherfuckers doing to Sony right now, man. They are slobbing Sony up right now, man. Yeah. They try to get in by any means possible right now, man. It's horrible, man.
I guess people really caring about their purchase. Like, like Boy Roach said that, if you like the PlayStation 4, you think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread,
Play it.
that's all. That's like something like me telling those guys, like, none of us here really cares for the Wii U, crap and wave. That's like me going into a Pro Nintendo website and say, oh, man, the Wii U was dog shit.
Yeah.
I have better things to do. Like,
Listen, I got like 16 tweets yesterday from somebody anonymously creating Twitter accounts just so they could tell me that the Xbox One GPU is shit compared to the PS4. So my response every time was, "You're correct. Thank you for the information. Enjoy gaming." And every single time I sent that response, it wasn't enough. They had to come back. Oh, well, you're just blowing me off because you know it's the truth. And I said, yes, you are correct. Enjoy gaming. And that still wasn't enough. It kept going and going. Where do these people I genuinely feel sorry for
Dude,
people
okay,
that do
yeah,
that.
like,
I
okay,
really
the
do.
fucking PlayStation 4, it's more goddamn powerful. We get it. Get the fuck over it. Let us enjoy what we want to enjoy. Since when the fuck are they God and can sit there and tell us what the hell we should be able to enjoy and what we can enjoy? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
My thing is, why do it matter? That's what killed me. You know, like, why do you care what I play and what I enjoy?
I mean, there's
you
a
know?
lot of different reasons. One is probably these people are very young. If they're not very, if they're very young, it means they have a limited income. So you identify with what you buy, so you want that to be the best. If they're not very young and they're my age, then they're just really, really sad people.
Yeah.
How about this? How about they're tired of next gen fucking their grandmothers? I like the third answer a little better, but yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, just enjoy what you want to enjoy and let other people enjoy what they want.
Who the fuck are you? I'm gonna pop shit, you faggot motherfucker.
Hey, Warrior, did you know that Xbox One GPU is shit?
Yeah, I did.
How dare
Thanks for
you
telling me that.
enjoy?
I
How dare
appreciate
you
that.
enjoy any of the games on there?
Well, I have a new name for it.
Since it's total shit.
I don't call it the Xbox One anymore. I call it the almost all the P's box.
Yeah, almost. It doesn't have all the P's though.
Right, almost all the P's.
Hey, you know, I was posting little clips of Tomb Raider Definitive version, right, on my YouTube, just off the Xbox One like I do, and I kept on getting little snide comments like, "Well, we all know the definitive version's on PS4."
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's nuts.
Some people came to me and go, "Oh crap, is it really 1080p on the Xbox One?" Yeah, people actually believe that there's no 1080p games on the Xbox One when there's like 30.
Crap. I mean, crap.
The PS4 will have the definitive version of all your favorite games.
The video, the video that I put up that makes fun of everybody. You know what I mean? It makes fun of the Xbox. It makes fun of the PlayStation. It gets all that stuff out of the way so you could just laugh. I still get people. When you said that the PlayStation 4 was more powerful, you really believe that, right? You know, it's like, what the fuck, man? Yeah, it's a shame. Hopefully,
No, seriously, people think that every game is 720p on the Xbox One. Every game. I mean, they think every goddamn game is 720p. And it's all this bullshit. It's just all complete bullshit. I mean, do these people not realize that last generation, most games that were in 720p native on 360 were 540 on PS3? I mean, that's a big swing. But nobody ever fucking counted pixels in anything, especially on a trailer, or made fun of people, or down-talked people over this. It wasn't big news on NeoGAF. Nobody talked about it on M4G.
Hey, Next Gen.
Yes.
Man, Microsoft sent a big check to crap for tonight's podcast, didn't they?
Dude, no, you know what? I'm a little bit pissed off, and I think it's pretty obvious, but it's not at what you think. You know what I'm saying? It's what it is the gamers, man. The gamers are what let me down.
Just ignore them. Just ignore it. Just ignore it.
Before we start, I want to give a shout out to Creepy Gamer, not to be confused with Crap Gamer. He says, Zaire, don't you have any chance to give me a shout out on the podcast? All right, here's your shout out, Creepy Gamer. This is your stalker, Crap Gamer.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Oh, listen, I said, man, get off that weirdo shit, man. You know, getting a little creepy. Just enjoy, play what you like, man. You know.
Yeah, let's talk about E3, man.
Yeah, hey, Creepy Gamer, listen here, man. I promise you play nice. Maybe let you come on and look at the end of the show next week, man. You know, and tell us your 2 cents of why the PS4 is so magnificent, okay? They don't have any goddamn games, man. You know, you gotta behave all week, and at the end of next week's show, we bring it in and let you tell us why the PS4 is great. All right, Creepy Gamer, Scout's honor. All right.
At the end of the show or the whole show? You said.
The end of the show.
No.
End of the show.
The credits are rolling up. They got to the credits.
Yeah.
Like, no, you know what I mean? At the end of the show, you know what I mean? After we answer the questions, let him come on, you know, say his piece.
Yeah.
This guy's really persistent. I mean, I just think that's, to me, I don't know how old he is, but that's a little.
Well, you might want to find out before you bring him on. I mean, you know.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm asking, is he over 18?
Yeah.
Thanks, man. I love your channel, and I appreciate it. If you love my channel, I appreciate it, man. But listen, how old are you?
What do you think? You think this is all going to matter after E3? This whole resolution and.
You know what? I'm about to put your husky ass in the headlock.
You better bring friends.
I'm really honest.
That's a big neck, man.
Faggot.
That ain't sound right.
Yeah.
Big neck.
That's
That's
all right.
big
No,
neck.
so that's a big neck.
That's a big neck.
He got a little deep on there.
Hey, yo, let me tell you something. Now, last year's no shit was not excited. I was really excited for last year E3
Yeah.
because they were bringing out the new console.
Right.
Now, to me, I think this year's E3 may be better than last year's E3 because they had a whole year. They've been on the market for a whole year. And I want to see what these games look like. You know what I mean? And maybe you can tell by this new Call of Duty they showed. It looks a lot better than last year's Call of Duty. So I'm really excited to see, Sunset Overdrive. We're gonna find out about that before E3, but
I'm actually really excited that it's got a deep single player experience. You know what I mean?
Quantum Break. I want to see Quantum Break in action. That game looks amazing. I want to see whatever Halo they show. I want to see the next fucking season of Killer Instinct. I want to see something great from Sony to justify my fucking purchase. Like, I really have no plans on cutting this motherfucking PS4. And it depends on, I want to see some The Last of Us. I want to see some of that emotion. That's just the same game, just ported over, and it doesn't look as good as the last Tomb Raider, the definitive edition. I'm not gonna buy The Last of Us for $65. Like, you know what I mean? And just, I'm not gonna do that. And fuck that, you know what I mean? I never played The Last of Us, but I will just pick it up for $20 on the PS3. You know what I mean? That whole thing, that shit doesn't mean anything to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I would just pick it up on the PS3 if you never played it.
Yeah.
I'm saying, if it looks good, if it looks as good as the Tomb Raider, then I'm all for it. I like a pretty game. It's like saying, beauty is only skin deep. Who the fuck wants an ugly bitch? It is what it is. But, I don't see myself paying $65 just for the same goddamn game. And, like prime example, when the PS3 was doing all those PlayStation 2 remakes on the PS3, put them in 1080p. Even though they were in 1080p, they graphically was the same shaders and shit, didn't really look, I mean? I'm not going to do that, you know what I mean?
They just smoothed it out and just upscaled it. That's all they did.
It was the same amount of shaders and all that shit. I'm not gonna pay $65 for that shit. I'm not. But I care less what Nintendo shows. Well, here's a flip. Here's a change of schedule. What do you guys feel about Nintendo not taking the stage?
Is that confirmed? Was that confirmed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They committing more suicide.
Okay, I'm gonna start with you, Don. So what do you, Don? You have a soft spot in your heart for Nintendo. Man, you went at it numerous times over this whole Nintendo shit. So what do you feel about them not taking the stage, and why they're not taking the stage?
To be honest with you, I feel it's a slap in the face to their consumers, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, they want Nintendo there. Like, come on, man. How much can they do with those directs? They don't do much. They didn't do much with the last one, You actually want to do. It's, how can I put it? It's the event. You know what I'm saying? E3 is the major event that you want to be a part of. I ain't watched the video, but I was listening to you listen to a video, I think by BG, when he was talking about it.
No, I don't fuck with BG. Oh, yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Remember when he was saying, because he was right on the money when he said that shit, when he was like, E3 became irrelevant when Nintendo didn't want to show up at it. You get what I'm saying? And that's right, man, because E3 is the biggest gaming event of the year. You get what I'm saying? Why would you miss that? That's like they're basically forfeiting something that's huge. You know what I'm saying? And it really bothers me.
Did they miss last year too?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, and with a horrible Nintendo Direct.
They were there. They just didn't take the stage. You didn't get a live show. They just did a pre-tape show and played.
Gotcha. Ain't that what they doing this year? They doing the pre-tape show?
Yep, same shit.
Normally, Microsoft presentation lasts about 90 minutes. Nintendo did a skit for like 30 minutes. And the reason why, and I'm not telling you at all, the reason why I think they're not attending E3 because they don't have enough games to talk about for 90 minutes. They don't have enough, motherfuckers want to hear about the Wii U. If you get the 3DS, people are not happy with Nintendo before I do Wii U. And in my heart of hearts, Nintendo does not have enough games to fill up the 90-minute slot. And just being real, all that, like you said, though, E3 is not just, this is around the world. The whole world is looking at it. The whole fucking world. You had this free fucking, free advertisement for your console. Hey, look at us. and X, Y, and Z. But how many games did the Wii U come out this year in 2000 where they had Donkey Kong and what else? Any third-party games?
Mario Kart.
That's
They had a few third parties. They did. They had Splinter Cell come out this year.
Oh, 2000.
That was last
Oh,
year.
that was last year. Oh, damn. Hold on. Did they have any third parties come out this year?
2014. They had, but I know they had no, it's not Mario. What you call that shit?
Mario Kart 8.
No. Donkey Kong came out.
Tropical Freeze, right? Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Good game, by the way.
Yeah.
And I don't know anything else. And I'm not talking about no Disney games or anything like
Okay, they have. Okay,
Mario
they
Kart
do
8's the
have.
big one.
They have X from Monolith Software coming out later this year.
I'm talking about it came out thus far.
Oh, thus far, I don't. It's Donkey Kong, and then I think Mario Kart 8 is coming out this month, right?
No, it's not this month. What came out thus far? You can see what I'm saying.
It's already out, is what he asked. What do they already have out for this year?
First party?
We don't know.
Anything.
Third party, first party.
That Mario Tennis.
Okay, we got Mario. I didn't know about it. Mario Tennis came out, and you got Donkey Kong.
I don't know of any third-party games, to be honest with you.
So we got.
I'm sure there are. I just
What
can't.
month? This is May, right? The 5th month. So in 5 months, you got 2 games, maybe 3. What the fuck is that? Again, now you see when I mean that you need third party on your platform. You get exclusive once every 2 to 3 months. You understand what I'm saying? Like, god damn. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the PlayStation and the Xbox didn't have a dry spell, but these consoles only been on the market for 5-6 months. The Wii U was going on 2 years, and they dropped more games in 2008 than the Wii U did. That's fact. You know what I mean? I just fucked up. Now you see what I'm talking about. Nintendo's gonna have to put another console next. Nintendo's gonna have to put another. Now you see what I'm talking about. They're going to shoot themselves in the foot. They have all this fucking, drop no games. Like they have to come out with another console next month. I don't see how they're gonna survive. I'll get Mario Kart and all that fun. I can give a fuck about a Mario Kart. I can give a fuck about a Smash Bros. Mario Kart Smash Bros came out in the GameCube. The GameCube still ended up in last place. So Nintendo fans always say, wait till Mario come out. That's when the Wii U's gonna wait till this come out. Like, are we still saying this? Like, the fucking Wii U's a fucking fail. And I'm not trying to just, it is what it is. Sometimes we gotta call a spade a spade. And like, I hate fucking even so same thing. I hate Nintendo apologists and even Microsoft apologists. It is what it is. Call a fucking spade a spade. You have a platform without any fucking software. Like, I'm just being real. They don't have any fucking games at all, man. And like I said,
Dude, I didn't ever think about it like that, man. They don't got no games for that system. That is horrible.
Let me go to GameStop or let me Google what the fuck. Like, I don't think they came with any games that came out, and like I told you, look, they put out a next generation system, quote unquote, that really can't run any next generation engines. Think about all the games that are gonna come out using the Unreal Engine 4 and Snowdrop engine and that new Assassin's Creed. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of games that's not gonna come to the Wii U. Here you go. Here's the argument. But when you buy the Nintendo platform, you don't think about what the fuck is that? And again, let me show you motherfuckers something. I like Trump. Let me show you motherfuckers. Like him up. Let me show you something.
You sound like you're channeling crap.
The reason why he's down
Yeah, he is sound like crap. What's coming to Nintendo?
You know why he's fucking dominated? And why this TurboGrafx 16's ass? Because the TurboGrafx 16 had poor third-party support. The Atari Lynx Jaguar had poor third-party support. Your system is weak without third-party. The PlayStation 2 dominated as strong as it was in the PlayStation 1. Why? Because it had strong third-party support.
So let me ask you a question real quick, not to cut you off.
No, cut me off,
Do you think that Nintendo has strong third-party support?
Hell no! Hell no!
I think we get that one.
Yeah.
I understand, but see this is the stance that these Nintendo, these pro Nintendo YouTube channels and you don't buy the Wii U. Who the fuck this one bought and spent $400 on the system and like this to play the Nintendo game? That's the dumbest shit ever. I never heard that shit before.
Dude, that's not even a smart way of thinking, to be honest with you.
PS4, you don't think about third-party games. You think about all the wonderful. What the fuck? Come here, put your face by here. Slap the shit out you. You know what I mean? It is what it is, man. You know, I remember when Nintendo was great. That's all that I'm saying. I may be showing, telling my age here, but all that's well and good. But just trust me, that's not gaming. Nintendo would not have been successful as they were, you know, up to now if they didn't have a strong third party support, man. Like I said, I don't know if somebody's looking at this live. Just tell me how many games did you come out for the Wii U so far in 5 months in 2014? You know, sad, man. You know, it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
Hey, it looks like they're still getting Watch Dogs though.
Yeah.
But I see they're not getting that Call of Duty so far.
Well, no, they probably will get a version. I was reading Sledgehammer is doing the PS4, Xbox One versions. Another developer is doing 360, PS3, and probably Wii U version.
I don't know. Like I said, they're not making any money. Activision when they go. I mean, like the fucking Vita version of Call of Duty also the Wii U version.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That is because the
And
Vita.
the Vita version was horrible.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I bought that and played it. It was terrible.
I look at like Injustice of Gods. You know, my copy's right. I have it, but they sold 20,000 copies for the month. Like what the? You have their software attach rate is fucking horrible. Like their software attach rate is fucking abysmal, man. That make like, oh my god, man. It is what it is, man. So I'm gonna ask you, Crap, how do you feel about them not taking the stage?
I think it sucks. I can see why they didn't want to take the stage last year because, going up against two companies releasing new hardware is going to be tough to beat.
You think Sony or Microsoft would have did that?
I think no. I think they would have fucking went out there anyway. I mean, Sony got their heads bashed in when they were sitting there talking about the PSP when Nintendo came out and did reveal the 3DS. So I mean, they're obviously still going to go out there and do that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's a mistake on Nintendo's part not to go out there and have some confidence in what you're doing. It shows a lack of confidence. It's a lack of respect for their consumers. It's a lack of direction, a lack of leadership. And I'm disappointed as a consumer.
All right. How about you, Showstopper? What do you feel about that?
I feel it's fine. That's what they need to do as a company, man.
You need to go with the direct?
I'm messing with you, bro. I think it's sad. I think it's sad. I think they need to. They should have at least took the stage. But if they got like a pre-rendered video, to miss that, that's unacceptable. So to miss E3, which is the most biggest for all gamers, everybody is there. Journalists, everybody. You know what I'm saying? All gamers' attention is there. To skip out on that is just stupid to me. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I feel about it.
Okay, all right.
So they need to do better. Step your games up or something. You need to do something.
Okay, Warrior Ward, how do you feel about it?
Well, they're doing a live show, but they're not doing it at E3. They're doing it on the 10th, I think, June 10th or something like that. But they're not going to be at E3 on stage, which is bad. I mean, but it takes a lot of money to get up there on E3, and
yeah, it does.
Yeah, but now listen, we're not talking about some indie studio. Nintendo has money.
Yeah. I just don't think that they have enough to showcase.
They don't have games. Yeah, next year hit it on the head. They don't got the games to show.
Don't have the games to show.
Yeah. What you say? You said it costs a lot to get on stage, which is cool. It costs a lot to. This is free advertising. I don't know how much it costs to run their commercials, but look what they're gonna do now to make up to their game. They let people play Smash Brothers. I mean, I never really liked that game. I'm not knocking those who like it. I give a fuck about Smash Brothers. But you showed Smash Brothers last year. You know what I mean? We already saw Mario Kart, whatever last shit. Like.
How many years they gonna show Bayonetta? You know what I'm saying? They still haven't released yet.
Yeah, god damn. Like, I think Nintendo needs to fucking all those motherfuckers have been here for 10 years. Just all of them.
Yeah, that is the problem.
Have any dialogue still. Like, think about it. Like, god damn, Zelda don't, like their games don't even fucking talk. Like, what the fuck? Like, honestly. Like, they don't even fucking talk. Like, they don't even voice in their games. Like I don't know, man.
I wish they were doing things a little bit differently because, they are like the big. They're like the granddaddy company for games. But when you have an audience that just wants to buy your games and no one else's, it's not going to work.
I think you might have just hit it on the head too, or when
Say,
you
I'm sorry,
say they the granddaddies. You know what I'm saying? They might just be out of touch.
They're the grandfather game.
Yeah, they're the grandfathers. You know what I'm saying? That's why they.
And they have an audience that just wants their games and no one else's. And their games are really good. If they're not your cup of tea, but their games have been around for a long time for a reason. But the problem is, if you have an audience that just wants those games at the expense of everyone else's, even if everyone else's are just as good, then that's a problem.
You know what? Even better, you said they have an audience. What about getting a new audience? What about getting, like they said, going after the consumers that they lost to Microsoft and that they lost to Sony? What about that? Like, you know, they're missing so much more. It's okay to have this little niche little crowd, but even their fans, I don't know who the Wii U really appeals to, because even their fans are not really buying. I think what this last Mario was sold the worst out of all Marios in all years, whatever the fuck. Like, who the fuck is? I don't think no one really likes the Wii U, was happy with the Wii U. I mean, I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? Because you know the Nintendo fans say they don't care about. We don't care about third party. And as soon as they started announcing third party, here's Dr. Chain. They have your definitive version of all your favorite games. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about how they do that shit. Third party didn't matter. As soon as they started announcing Mass Effect and all these different games, here's Dr. Trey. And not to make fun of this dude, no whatever. You know, they had your definitive version of Grand Theft Auto, the definitive version of this, that. So now third party counts. Like, you know, you understand what I'm saying? Like, Bethesda said it best. You know why a lot of these companies, again, are not working with Nintendo, a lot of third party, you know? Because, like I said, Nintendo's had a horrible relationship with third throughout the years. They've been very shitty. When they was the only ticket in town, you know, it was like their way or the highway, fuck you. But like Microsoft and Sony did, they fucking went to the developers and said, hey, this is what we're working on. Let me know what you got. What are your guys' plans, and what do we need to do on our end? You know what I mean? You know, one hand washes the other. They both need each other. And Nintendo just fucking made this shit up, put the fucking shit down and say, hey, this is what it is, what we got, do what you can. Like, and that's fucked up, man, you know? That's no way to do business. You know what I mean? That way, doing business, you know what I mean? It is what it is.
Nintendo's very set in their ways, and their old way isn't working anymore, so they need to...
Yeah, they're old. Well, they're old. They were sort of like the gateway into gaming for a lot of different generations. You know what I mean? Like, you would grow up, your parents would get you into Nintendo, and then you would get hooked on gaming, and then when you got older, you would get Sony or you would get Microsoft. But I think that with the advent of mobile, you know, that generation isn't there anymore for them. That young generation that becomes gamers with Nintendo, and then they grow up to something else, and then, you know, their kids start with Nintendo. That's not there anymore. So, like you said, they have to go after a different audience. You know, you could still have your first-party games that, you know, the majority of people, young and old, love, but you have to have those third parties, and they have to be, you know, just as good as the other two systems, and then you got to win.
They're in such a rough place, though, because if they wait, you know, say 2 years to come out with the new console, then they're going to be beat in a couple of years after that by Microsoft and Sony. If they do it right now, they're going to fuck over, you know, 6 million consumers that bought their console and dropped, you know, $300-400 on that shit.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to announce new hardware.
They're definitely not announcing any new hardware this year.
Yeah. So you think it's going to be a handheld that they're supposed to be announcing?
There was a rumor that the Wii U is going to get redesigned, and there's going to be a controller with a screen on it like the Wii U, but much smaller. That actually fits in your hand like a controller, but you still had that screen. I don't know. I mean, I can't see them doing that either.
It could be a redesigned Wii U at a smaller price point, though. I could see that.
Yeah, but you know, and if you pack in a game like Mario Kart 8, then you're gonna sell some hardware.
You guys say Mario weird.
Mario.
Mario, bro.
Mario.
Weird shit out.
Wow.
It is what it is, man. A lot of people saying that Nintendo will commit suicide and this the consumers, and no one, they will lose faith in them. But what are they going to do? They going to leave a console out there?
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to go anywhere. They're not going out of business or anything. But
no, I'm just saying that. Yeah. But no, listen, I do believe in my heart of hearts, if they come up with another failed attempt at, you know,
they're in trouble. They're in big trouble. Yeah.
I don't care how much money they got in the bank. No one's going to buy their console.
Right.
You know, if, like I said, you know, a lot of this should be speculation and rumors. It came out that, you know, from a developer, anonymous source, whatever, that Nintendo had no idea how PlayStation, PSN or Xbox Live work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, what I mean, and that's crazy as hell. These are your competitors here. Now, I watch this and they don't do good at competing. You know, and this is their biggest competitor. And I told you, I read an article by Miyamoto last year around March. It was on GameSpot. It said Nintendo just not starting to take online gaming seriously. Like, in 2013. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, Xbox Live came out in 2002.
Dude, you know the sad part is the Sega Dreamcast had better structure than Nintendo Online.
It
You
did.
know what's crazy? You know what gives that that from that anonymous developer gives us some credence, because I believe it was Ed Boon when it was said that and it was asking about DLC for Injustice to put on the Wii U. They said they didn't know how. They didn't tell them. No one get like, how do you put stuff on the eShop? You know what I mean? So these some green, like, they didn't have like any clue. Like, a lot of these developers that were making games for we launched, they didn't know how to put stuff on the PlayStation. On the Nintendo eShop. They didn't know. Like, Nintendo didn't give them the memo. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? That's why Nintendo didn't start talking about the online part, but they said they had it. They didn't begin to so right before the system launched, and we didn't know what. We know they didn't have friend codes, and everybody was happy about this. Like, they blinded everybody. We're doing away with friend codes, and I was like, all right, what else? Like, we didn't know shit till you got your hands on the console. Like, I didn't know you didn't have no game. Like, I knew that console didn't have game invites and no fucking voice chat. I wouldn't have bought the motherfucker. I didn't realize that till I got the motherfucker home.
Well, things are bad when Nintendo has a worse online system than PSN. I mean, I'm just saying.
Oh, god damn.
Oh my god, here he goes.
I'm just saying.
Boom!
Another body blow.
All right, so what else we got going on in the world of games?
You know what? A lot of people were saying this is about that Call of Duty game again, but apparently they're saying it's built on a new engine, not the same old Infinity Ward engine. So apparently Sledgehammer Games is saying, hey, we built this whole new engine for this game. It's not the Infinity Ward engine. So that's impressive, because a lot of people complain that they just slap a coat of paint on the old engine, which is true. But then again, at the same time, if you play Call of Duty, that's Call of Duty, and that's just how it's going to play. You know what I'm saying? They could fuck it up by doing this. I think it's a little bit risky.
I don't think those games ever looked bad, though. Do you think?
I don't think they look bad, dude. When Call of Duty 4 came out in 2007, I was like, holy shit. I mean, that was it. That was like.
I mean, even Ghost. Game. I mean, even Ghost looked. I mean, it doesn't look bad.
Yeah, I think the single player looks pretty good.
I just think everybody was just tired of the same mechanics. The same.
There you go.
It's slow. You know what I'm saying? They need to change. They need to change the pace of that game.
The problem is people always complain about that franchise, but then it sells 20 million copies.
Yeah.
So
Everybody wants.
If they changed it too much and listen to the vocal minority, they might end up costing themselves 15 million in sales.
You know what?
But the pace of that game needs to change. You know what I'm saying?
You know what happened? It used to be quick pace when it was smaller maps, and now that they put in these bigger maps with 6v6, it's difficult because it's a lot more slower and a lot more camping. And then with Ghost, what happened was they took away the UAV, which is how you stop campers, because they show up on UAV. So, and also another thing I'll say that hurts the Call of Duty games, in my opinion, and a lot of games really is, all right, you have people that play these games competitively, and I do it too, and my clan and my friends, and you're playing a game, and it was great. Like Ghost, when I was first playing it, was really good online. The guns worked, everything worked. Next thing you know, you check the forums and stuff, and people are saying this is OP, that's OP, this is OP. Basically, every goddamn thing's OP till they nerf everything to where you can't kill it. You're like fucking spitballs at people. You know what I'm saying? It takes forever to kill people because people get beat straight up in a fair gunfight or whatever on these games, and then they think, oh no, I must have got beat because something's OP. People just need to take responsibility and get better at the game, because they keep fucking up these games. And even Titanfall, this happened to Titanfall a little bit too, is they're listening too much to what these little crybabies are saying in the forums about what's OP. I had no problems with the smart pistol. I know some people did. I hardly ran into it, and now it's like it's nothing, and then everything is
Tell
so
people
weak.
what OP is. They're listening.
Overpowered.
Yeah.
Like that said, but let me add my 2 cents to this. When I think, me, I had a process. I'm not gonna play this, and I'm glad you said that. What does it usually have? What engine does it use? The source, and what engine did it use? The Quake engine. Uses the Quake engine, I believe I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was using a variation of the Quake engine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thing. And I've always said that, and I forgot about the reason why. Another, besides not giving me no achievements between online, I said they need to make the story mode, the story co-op. But when I say change the engine, like I would like to be able to jump. You got these big ass guns, and you stand behind a house and shoot, tear that motherfucker up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let me be able to jump, roll, or climb a wall or something. You know what I mean? It could still be Call of Duty, but they really do need to change that motherfucking engine. Like, that shit is like, like, and it doesn't look, to be real, I want a next generation experience. You know what I mean? Like, you get called, make it a next gen. Now, Call of Duty went from being on the PS2 and the original Xbox, then you had, Call of Duty for on the 360. It was like a breath of fresh air. It was something new. It was like, oh shit, and especially Call of Duty 4, like, god damn, this is awesome. And I think if the Call of Duty franchise is to be successful, it has to, I think keep what made them great, but bring something new, bring something next gen. And by them still using that same engine, I'm sorry, man, it ain't next gen. Like, it ain't. You know what I mean? Shit, like, give me jumping, rolling, something. Like, god damn,
Well, you can. They did implement. I don't know if you played any of the newer ones. Like, you can slide. Like, you can do a belly slide and do like a slide on your legs and shit. Like, I thought that was kind of cool. And you can lean, like with Ghosts, you can lean from the cover and stuff like that. So I thought that was kind of cool. But overall, there hasn't been a whole lot of innovation. And what happens is, in my opinion, they keep trying to get too complicated with these games. Call of Duty 4 and World at War were good in my opinion because you had kill streaks set at 357. Everybody had the same ones. It was UAV, it was an airstrike, and then a chopper that got called in, and that was good. You know what I'm saying? You had stopping power, and you had ghost. You always had something to counteract the other thing. You could either run with stopping power and get that extra power, or you could run with Ghost and not show up on radar, and you lack that extra power. It was a trade-off, that everything was kind of balanced out, and it worked well. And now it's like, hey, we got 100 million fucking kill streaks, and it's so complicated that you don't even know what you're doing.
Yeah,
It
just
gets way
looking
too
at
complicated.
looking at the this new Call of Duty that's coming out. One of the things that caught my attention when I looked at the trailer was the magnetic hands, where you able to scale that wall. When you start climbing the wall with the little, I don't know if it was sticky hands or whatever it is, but
Titanfall.
he was climbing the wall. You know what I'm saying? And that was I thought that was pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? That's something different that have not been in
hover
a
bikes,
type
dude.
of,
That was kind of cool.
yeah, so
able to
it had a whole lot. And now the hoverboards they had in there that she threw out, you know what I'm saying, and you was able to jump on it. That stuff gonna be, it looks like it's gonna be a totally different game, a totally different experience.
Yeah.
So I'm wait just before it comes out. It looks like they changed a whole lot in it, So I'm just pointing out some obvious that they had changed a whole lot in it from your common war style game.
I actually like the way the body suits, you know what I'm saying, how it actually transformed onto their body. I like the way that was. It's like it's an extra suit of armor that you can put on and off, you know what I'm saying, depending on if you need more armor.
I know people are already screaming that it's Titanfall. It's the same thing.
Hey,
dude, well, they took some aspects. You can tell that
they did take some aspects from it.
I was just going to address this, okay? In my opinion, okay, check this out. They were working on this game for 3 years, all right? Yeah. Obviously, they had no idea what Respawn was working on. These games go into development way beforehand. So a lot of people were saying, no, they're ripping off Titanfall. I actually don't think that at all. I think that what they were doing is just coming up trying to go somewhere different, and it just so happens that that's kind of where Respawn was going too. You don't they're not going to straight up copy that, and they were both working on these games at about the same time. They had no idea what Respawn was working on, and they're not just going to change their thing to match Titanfall, in my opinion.
I do not agree with that. I think they seen something that Titanfall was doing, and they implemented it in the game. You get what I'm saying? Because Titanfall was working on that game way longer than Sledgehammer was working on that. I don't think they completely ripped Titanfall off, but I think they seen some things that Titanfall was doing, and they implemented it late into their game. I do.
And it's two different point of views. So,
where's next gen?
I don't know. Ain't no telling.
Oh,
he fucking somebody grandma.
He went to go wash his toe.
It's just great. Yeah, he's the podcast host. He just walks off.
Anytime.
That
Let's
is
just can the
classic.
podcast.
Hey, so anyway, back to this pixel counting bullshit. All right,
No.
How do you count pictures on YouTube?
you can't. It's impossible. It's impossible to count pixels on YouTube.
Yeah,
It really is. I mean, it is impossible to count pixels on YouTube. Oh, there is a Xbox One update. I don't know if you guys are in it.
Yeah, I was just talking about
Um,
that. Did you like the noise that it makes when it turns on now?
Mine does does it make added noise or something?
It just makes that little clicking sound now. It didn't do it before. Like when you say Xbox on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Right.
I think it's cool. Like,
Yeah,
to
and
those
I noticed that it recognizes my voice a lot better. I mean,
yeah, like they're improving the Connect functionalities, but also like what they're doing is they're gonna allow you to the option to control display and sound options under the setting app.
yeah, for each.
You can control the volume of each snapped application individually. So
Right.
you can turn up the volume on one thing that's snapped, like the game, and turn it down on, say, YouTube or whatever if you have that snaps. And I think that's pretty cool. So it's like a good chat mixer or whatever. You can also use the chat mixer that allows you to turn down other sounds while talking with the Kinect. So if you're using like Skype or something, you can turn down all the background shit or whatever. And it really helps out a lot with the functionality and things like that with Kinect. So I think the monthly updates have been impressive. You know what I mean? Like I think they found a good medium with the updates, because if you look back to the PS3, that thing would update randomly, but you would never know what the hell you got. It wouldn't really improve anything. It's just you were getting an update, you know. And the Xbox 360 would do that one big update a year that was like really awesome, and people look forward to it.
Yeah.
I like how the Xbox One is updating monthly, but it's shit that we all want and that we want to use, and it's important and it works good. You know, it's improving the experience at a rapid pace. So I enjoy the monthly updates and think they're doing a good job with that. And I'm really looking forward to the time when they update and allow external hard drive support, because they're supposed to allow, you know, any external hard drive port. I know some people think that it's going to be like their own or whatever.
Proprietary.
Right? Yeah, proprietary, right? So a lot of people say that originally it's supposed to be any external hard drive should be supported on that, up to 2 terabytes, I believe. And so the minute that happens, man, I'm getting one and I got to add it on there, because like most everybody else, I'm running out of space pretty quick. So
I'm both going to release new SKUs with terabyte hard drives in a few years.
You know what? I would say that Microsoft is probably going to release a SKU with a terabyte hard drive and no optical drive. Soon, like people always say, hey, they should release one without a Kinect. I can almost guarantee that they're going to release one. They'll never release one without Kinect. They'll release one without an optical drive before they release one without a Kinect. What do you guys think about that?
I think that at some point maybe they were thinking about it, but I think now, with people buying the PlayStation camera and Sony's releasing updates to add more voice commands and stuff like that, that I think that most people now, even though they don't want admit it, like having a camera,
Yeah, I mean they'll never admit it, like you can't get away with admitting that if you're a Sony fan, because then there's like that little chink in the armor. That's like them admitting that they're not completely happy with just getting indie games and free to play PC ports. Like if you admit that, then that invalidates your argument with Xbox fanboys, quote unquote. So it's like, and I also want to point out something that I have to remind myself sometimes is I get pissed off at, and I take it out on every Sony fan. There's a difference between fan and fanboy. And the fanboys almost ruin it for just the regular fans, in my opinion. There's a distinction, and they're so fucking blatant and annoying that you want to slap the piss out of them, and then you just jump all over sometimes over the fans. I forget that there is just people that like Sony stuff, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I would never presume to tell anybody what to buy or what not to buy, so I don't want people to do the same thing to me. But I just sometimes get caught up in this whole thing where we're in this like war or whatever over these plastic machines, and there's these there's a group of good Sony fans. They just like Sony products and the PlayStation, and that's fine, as because those aren't the ones that are going out of their way. It's like really religious people. I'm fine with that, or if you're atheist, but don't go out of your way to tell me why I should be that way. You know what I'm saying?
So I don't think that they'll release a SKU without the Kinect. Just to end my answer to your question.
So what you're saying is, yeah, well, they definitely aren't going to release.
Yeah, I don't ever see that. You know what I'm saying? That's like getting a smartphone now without a camera on it.
After the update that lets you do Twitch and direct to YouTube, after those updates, I think that if you're a normal person and you're not crazy, that there's some value having that camera.
You can't even use Upload Studios without the Connect.
I mean, especially after the update with PlayStation with Share Factory. I mean, you need
the competition is good. Speaking of Share Factory, what do you guys think of this? All right, like, have you guys noticed this trend? And it's going to seem like I'm attacking Sony fans or Sony again.
You are attacking.
I probably am, but listen. Does it seem to you guys like? And this, I noticed this a while back. Like, Microsoft launched the 360 with achievements. The Sony fans made fun of that, said, it's stupid, blah, 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 but then begged Sony for it, and Sony put it out. And then they said, it's better than achievements, trophies, you know what I'm saying? Now, everybody says, well, we don't need to be able to edit our stuff or anything like that, blah, blah, blah. But now the Share Factory's out there like, this is better than Upload Studio.
I heard it's nice, though, but I'm going to check it out. I don't have anything.
Yeah, I heard they put Sony Vegas. You know what I'm saying? This basically just Sony Vegas on the PlayStation 4.
Do you have the update now, next gen for PS4?
For Xbox?
For PS4, do you have that update for Share Factory?
Yeah, because I heard it was. Well, I have it on automatic update.
Can you upload to YouTube?
No.
You need a thumb drive or a drive to do that.
Yeah, I was trying to do that. I'm trying to find where the hell do I upload to YouTube.
He's trolling. He's trolling.
No,
actually, I'm not.
You got to go total old school with PlayStation 4, dude. This is what you got to do. First of all, you can't be running other programs. You got to back out of your games or whatever completely on the PlayStation 4. So you do that. You edit your shit. Next thing you know, you got to do all that stuff. Wait for it to buffer and all that kind of shit, and then you got to put it on your flash drive, take it over to your PC.
That's a lot of waiting.
Put it into your PC.
Hold on, back up.
Yeah.
Now you can't. I wasn't trolling. You can't. You can upload to Facebook directly, but you can you upload directly to Facebook? That's correct, right?
I don't know.
I don't even know. I don't even think you can do that.
Yeah.
On Facebook.
You can't upload to Facebook, I believe.
No, you can share it to Facebook, but I'm talking about like.
Yeah, you can share a video.
You can share it to Facebook, but after you edit and everything, can you still post it directly to Facebook? I don't think you can.
Well, after you're done editing, then that's when you post it.
Yeah, you should be able to.
You share it. Yeah.
Okay,
you should be able to. Yeah, the share button, that's what it's for.
So you could do it right to Facebook.
Yeah.
But you can't directly do it to YouTube.
But how is Facebook gonna? I mean, if you're a person that's a gamer, I mean, a lot of people don't even let other people know that they game, especially like on Facebook. I mean, that's not the optimal place to share. I mean, YouTube is the place.
You do it in groups if it's groups. But
they'll probably release an update in a couple months.
If they can, like if you look at their YouTube app,
I seriously think
they don't even have a YouTube app.
Sony and Google is beefing. Because there's no way it should have took this long.
Sony believes that by you putting their shit on YouTube is stealing. By people looking at people play the game, it's like them not buying the game and enjoying it. It's the dumbest shit ever, but that's the way.
Nintendo feel the same way. Both of those companies feel like
that. Like whenever I do a Nintendo review, I have to do it pro bono. I can't monetize anything Nintendo first party related. They don't allow that. I can put it up, but you can't monetize it.
I wouldn't push it up, then fuck that. Fuck them.
Yeah, you can't. You can't. I mean, that's just that. And there, I've gotten some of that stuff with Sony too. Like some of their stuff, like first party stuff, you can't monetize it on YouTube either, or else you could get a copyright strike or what have you. But yeah, they're very anal about that. And apparently, with the whole share function and stuff, there's like a lot of limits to what you can use and what you can share. And so I wouldn't doubt that they never allow direct uploads to YouTube just because they don't want people to share whatever. I mean, they're so anal that they don't allow people to capture their own footage for certain games. Like, remember, Adam Sessler wasn't allowed to use his own footage for Infamous for his review. He had to use whatever B-roll footage they gave him. You know, they want to control what people are seeing, and it's really a shame, you know, considering they claim to be so pro gamer and pro everybody. You know what I mean? And then they do kind of little backhanded things like this, and nobody talks about it. That's the thing. You won't hear anybody talk about this stuff.
Well, you could just stick it on a USB drive though, right, and upload it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, but I mean that's like hey, let's stick it on a USB drive and upload it. What's the difference between? I mean, that's not really next gen to me. That's not really like
No, I'm not saying. Yeah, it's definitely easier on the Xbox One. I was just trying to figure out if you could do it to Facebook directly. Why?
Yeah, you can.
What would be the issue with not being able to do it to YouTube directly?
I think Sony had a little partnership with Ustream. Maybe, don't quote me on that. But they would let you share it on Ustream or something, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you can broadcast live video of yourself on Ustream and Twitch, right?
Well, this is the thing, though. All right.
Yeah, at 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah, at 12 o'clock at night. You want to avoid that. You want to avoid
that's
that
crazy,
shit.
Man. That's crazy.
Yeah. But the thing is this, all right? Like with PlayStation 4, you can't use the archives and like save your Twitch streams to that. Like Xbox One, you can save your Twitch streams and then download that later for editing or what have you. You know what I'm saying? So that's another difference in my opinion. And it's like it's like PlayStation 4 seems bare bones to a lot of features. You know what I mean? Like those features seem.
Wait, hold up. You got to realize this crap. Microsoft is a what?
Software company.
Sony is a hardware. The fact that they can make this power machine and not have the power supply inside the console, that's what they do. Sony builds shit. Microsoft is the guru of software. So in terms of that, they will always be. Well, look at the Xbox Live compared to PSN. Don't get me wrong, PSN has got better, but it's still not Xbox Live. That's what Microsoft is all about. Software.
Yeah, I agree, but it's like, man, they got 2.5 gigs set aside for the OS. Couldn't they come up with something?
Look how even with the security, what do you call that shit? The HDC, whatever.
Yeah, the
HDCP. Yeah.
I heard you had to manually.
You have to switch it on and off. You have to switch it on.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, if you're using Netflix,
yeah, that's awful.
Off if you're using gaming. If you want to do that, I think that's just ridiculous.
Hold on, that's on the PS4.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's absolutely hard. But see, on the Xbox One, it automatically say if you go on to Netflix, it automatically switches on. It say if you go back to games, you got to restart your system, and then it'll deactivate or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So you gotta self-police yourself, basically.
Yeah. Well, you won't be able to watch Netflix if you don't, or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Yeah. That's too much work, and that's too much time and settings.
Hey, we should do some questions because it's getting close to Dragons and Dungeons time right here.
You faggot.
He's calling you names. He can't wait to go watch.
He's mad about that, man. You got me put it
shit, man. Who the fuck you don't watch Game of Thrones, man? It's awesome.
I hear there's a midget. I hear there's a midget in that show, and that's why you watch it.
Yeah.
SG was like, man, I want my own pet dragon. I want me a pet dragon.
Yo, the GPU in Game of Thrones is shit.
Oh man, you shouldn't even watch that, man. The GPU is total shit in that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right, I got some good questions here. Okay.
All right,
hold on. It was a funny one here I wanted to read, but I don't know should I read this or not. Hold on 1 second.
don't read anything that's really.
Yeah. All right. It said here. All right. I don't know. It's a good question though. It says here.
Well, just edit it.
What Sony fanboy do you think will be the first to do an unboxing of this Sony Smart Wig? My bet is on BG. I heard he has the lipstick and fingernail polish on standby. God damn. They are coming up with a smart though. All right,
Yeah, there he is.
Okay, Tony Sniff. Let me see. Is this a statement or is this a question? The order. Well, first, let me unlock. I gotta approve some questions. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. I had a whole questions that had to be approved. I guess they came through as spam. All right.
The game order?
Yeah. Well, hold on. Let me refresh the page because some of them came through as spam. All right. Let's go. All right. Top comments. All right. Here we go. No. Ask Crappy how old he was when he stopped. All right. Nope. Hey, first I'd like to give a shout out to HKEWell77, man. Hey, listen, bro, we don't mind you trolling, cool shit, dope shit, you know what I mean? I see you come here Sunday and support the show. You just make it kind of hard to find the question, that's all, man. Just tone it out just a little bit, man.
Yeah, maybe get
Man,
your
I told him to ban yo. I told him to ban you.
I think he offended the show. He just fucking.
Yeah, he is.
It's all good. It's all good. He let me know next year to say, man, he just trolling down there, man. You know,
Yeah,
it's all good.
he ain't Sonny faithfully. He just make it a little hard to get to the questions. Okay, that's not a question. Okay, Omizio. Question one: why do you think the Nintendo fanboys keep saying that E3 pre-tape show is better than the E3 live show?
Because there's no E3 live show.
Yeah, and they're idiots. You know.
Okay.
yeah, I mean, look, if you know, those Sony ponies, if there was no Sony live show, they would be saying, hey, it's better that way. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, the same thing.
I'm sure there would be Microsoft fans that would say the same damn thing. It's just
Sure.
that's what you're stuck with. I mean, you might be disappointed, but just like every other gamer, you're not gonna show that chink in the armor where you're like, I better not sound like I'm disappointed in this. You know what I mean?
I just feel they're doing their fans a disservice by not showing up, man, because the fans look forward to that big grand stage, you know.
And they are dedicated.
Awada is just coming up and personally bitch slapping all the people that bought a Wii U with that. That's all he's doing.
Yeah.
He's like, here's a pound of rice. Let me bitch slap you, eh? You know, I mean, that's
World War hit it on
basically.
the head, though. World War hit it on the head, man. They the grandfathers of gaming, man. They is out of touch with
They're
what's
very,
really
they're
going
very
on
out
right
of
now.
touch,
They're
and they
out of
don't
touch.
listen. They're slow to react. They're slower than me, and that's something. That's what I gotta say. I'm
Yeah,
a
that's
slow
hard.
dude, and they're slower than me. You know what I mean? They react super slow. How they couldn't have seen that gamers were transitioning to online gaming mostly is beyond me. You know?
Okay, I got some questions here. All right.
Go ahead.
All right, here we go. Cage Raccoon. This is maybe a statement, and we can add on to this. This is another guy. Shout out to Cage Raccoon. He's here, motherfucker, Sunday faithfully. Appreciate it. Microsoft and Sony are both great for the gaming industry. It only took one console generation to turn console gaming from just offline entertainment to online all-in-one media devices. The Xbox One and the PS4 are computers now with all the apps and editing software. Nintendo's are being left in the dust in this console business. Cage Raccoon, you're absolutely right. I just want to add one thing to you. Before us, Microsoft wasn't the first to implement online gaming for its console, but they were the first to take it to the next level.
They were the first to do broadband only.
There you go. You know what I mean? But yeah, you are right. Nintendo is being left in the dust.
I'm sorry. Was the Dreamcast crap? Was the Dreamcast broadband and dial-up, or just broadband?
It was dial-up.
That when the Dreamcast was out, bro.
It was
they
no.
just
Hold
had
on, hold on.
dial-up.
There is a broadband adapter for the Dreamcast that you can buy.
Okay.
That you could buy it, but it wasn't there at launch. It came out a year or two later, and it's very sought after by collectors now because you can still use it for certain games. Like there's certain games on the Dreamcast that are hosted off like rented servers and stuff like
Right.
that.
So I was wrong.
Yeah, so you can. There was, and I was running off Windows.
Yeah, Windows CE.
Windows CE.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you know what killed me? It's a dude down here. He said he's a quote unquote Xbox fan. Why when somebody bashes the Xbox, they always say they're a fan of the Xbox? Have you noticed that?
Mm-hmm. That's the new thing to get you to read it. You know what I'm saying? Scroll right past that
The
crap.
order would be better than Quantum Break, and I'm an Xbox fan.
Hey, this dude said, "Do you think Call of Duty?
Games.
Do you think Call of Duty would be more popular on the Switch?"
Showstopper. Let's comment on this one. Do you think Quantum Break the order would be better than Quantum Break? It needs you to ask.
Wait, does he mean that it's going to be better or beat? What's he mean by beat? Because I think Quantum Break comes out this year, and I don't think the order is going to come out next year.
It already been pushed back. It don't come out.
Yeah, I think.
They're two different types of games. I mean,
Yeah, it surely is.
if all you play is PlayStation, then the order is going to be the best game ever, and it's going to be better than Quantum Break. If you're a normal person, then you'll play them and you'll decide for yourself.
I will say this: as far as like me personally, the order doesn't look to appeal to me. There's no multiplayer aspect, and I realize that yes, Quantum Break doesn't have a multiplayer aspect, but the reason why I would say it's shocking that the order doesn't is that it looks and plays so much like Gears of War.
Yep.
I mean, it's a third-person.
With no multiplayer.
Yeah, with no multiplayer. Now, Quantum Break interests me because anybody that knows that had a 360 knows what Remedy games can do as far as storytelling.
That's why I'm
And,
excited for
yeah,
that.
and that game is going to be
That's just opinion. You know,
good.
that's my
Yeah,
opinion.
that's my opinion too. But Alan Wake was maybe one of my favorite new
I
IPs
loved it.
last gen. Yeah,
Loved it.
yeah.
And as far as the order goes, I can almost guarantee you that the next time they announce it, which is a while from now, they're going to put a multiplayer mode in there. They're definitely going to do that.
Yeah, that's probably why they pushed it back. That's probably why they pushed it back.
Yeah, they're definitely going to do that.
See, World War, you thinking like I was thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? They're like, man, we got to put a multiplayer in there. But I wouldn't be worried about Quantum Break because the way I see it, depending on when Uncharted, well, they're probably gonna drop that game early in the year next year. You know what I'm saying?
No, Uncharted. Like if I had to guess,
But I'm thinking Uncharted would drown it out of anything. But go ahead.
yeah, okay. What I was gonna say is Uncharted maybe went back to the drawing board, and the reason I say this is because it had a direction that was going in with Amy Hennig, their game director, the actors, and everything that they had ready to go, and now all those people are gone. So they must have been some kind of falling out there. Like it wasn't the direction that the big wigs really wanted it to go. Maybe they wanted a more adult version of Uncharted, sort of like The Last of Us, and those people didn't want that. So I have a feeling that Uncharted, if it does come out, isn't going to come out till the end of 2015, maybe even 2016. And
I think it has to do with financially. I think Sony, maybe from what I heard, I really do know an industry insider that Sony cut back on a lot of that. No, seriously, I bullshit not. And that things that maybe if you've been working at a company for 10 years and you always had an hour. I'm not saying it was about a lunch break. I'm just saying literally. And you always had a hour lunch break, and the company all of a sudden cut you down to a half an hour. You know what I mean? Like the fuck. You know what I mean? I think, like I said, to save money, Sony cut back on a lot of different things, and maybe they felt that the game couldn't be great. Lead up to by them. Because they are big wigs in the office. They don't know about making games. They just are decision makers, and they say, hey, we need this right here to make the game great. You guys are taking this from them, so. And that's what I got from, a guy that I know that works in the industry. You know what I mean? That really works in the industry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's
but it's rumored that they got 24 AAA exclusives coming. This is what people sitting here saying. That's Sony.
Well, like I said, at the end of the day, maybe they may be on the Jordan board, but they're not in production. Sony can't afford to do it.
Well, I don't think anybody at E3 is going to announce 24.
No.
No, first of all, Sony never said they have AAA exclusive. The 24 AAA.
They said
exclusive.
AAA. Yeah, this is what this dude wrote in the comments.
Yeah, well, just because he says that doesn't mean Sony said that. How the hell would Sony have 24 AAA exclusives in the works with only 13 studios, and we already know what some of these studios are working on?
Yeah, well, you gotta watch Sony. Sony, they look at indies also as being AAAs too. So you gotta watch them.
Yeah, you gotta watch that crap.
You know what?
This dude. I got a question. This dude, Insane. He wrote, "Do you think Call of Duty will be more popular on a PlayStation 4?"
No.
More popular? What do you mean popular?
Means sell better or.
Well, the interesting thing is Call of Duty.
Because the audience doesn't like shooters.
Yeah, of course not. Yeah, they don't like just mindless, lame shooters, right, Warrior Wart?
Yeah, I mean,
when you think of Call of Duty, honestly, even though it's not exclusive to the Xbox,
you think of Xbox, yeah. But the funny thing is, Call of Duty was the biggest selling game on PlayStation 3. You know what I mean? So they buy that shit too.
Yeah, I mean, Call of Duty's popular. People are gonna buy it. It's gonna be.
But here's the thing: as long as they're putting Call of Duties on 360 and PS3 as well, if you combine the sales, they're gonna sell better on Xbox platforms. If you're a real hardcore Call of Duty fan, you're gonna get it on the platform that has the DLC.
The better online, yeah.
And the better online.
I have a question. Why would you wait to buy a game to see if it sells better on a console? Why wouldn't you just buy the game on the console that you like?
Yeah, and enjoy that.
Jesus.
Yeah, but that's not a question. That's a statement. Well,
Hey, here's a question. Did any of you that own a PS4 buy Octodad?
I did.
Hey,
wait, did you?
Yeah.
Did you play Flower, Warrior?
Yeah, I play Flower too.
Hey, what's your initial thoughts of Octodad on the PS4?
You know what it reminds me of? Did you ever play Katamari Damacy?
Yeah, I did.
It's kind of like that where you're rolling around and collecting things and they're sticking to you.
Yeah.
But you know, it's definitely not something that I would say, hey, I gotta go get a PlayStation 4 for it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I mean, I would rather play, you know, I would rather play, you know, Infamous than Octodad. Not to take away from the developer who made Octodad. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I'm sure that people
John,
enjoy that game.
What's up, Big
I
Pimp?
got a question for you. This is your line right here. It says here from the hold on one second. I got a question for you. It says here, I'm sorry, bro. I know I'm chopping your name up. The V.
Divisions.
Yeah,
It's Divisions. That's the name. Divisions.
All right. Have you all heard about EA secretly renewing the NFL license?
No, I have not heard about it.
I heard that who's the head of the Peter Moore of EA, when somebody brought up, and this was recently this year, brought up about them losing the license. He said that's not true, that they have the exclusive license for years to come.
I hope they. I wish they would lose it, man.
Yeah.
Here's
I
the
would- I
thing.
would like
Here's the
2K to
thing.
get back in the
Sony, or I mean, the NFL likes that money. EA pays, I think, more money as an exclusive license than when multiple people were paying for it.
Yeah, but how crazy is that you're telling people that you cannot make a football game with
Yeah.
actual football players in it because we own the rights to it?
You know what?
That's
I actually like there was a all pro football 2K7 or 8.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it was 2K8.
Yeah, and it had like retired players, like legit
legends.
players, and you could actually make the uniforms in the stadiums look like
Yeah.
the legit ones or what. I loved how that played. I played that forever. I mean, it was awesome playing as like John Unitas and some of these old players that I grew up, you know, that I loved and idolized, you know, like Joe Montana, Barry Sanders, what have you.
Yeah.
I wish they would make another one of those because I would love an option outside of Madden.
See, the thing about it,
I wish they would just make a
when
college
it comes down
football.
to that, when it comes down to that, is they will support it. See, a lot of people say they want that, but when they actually put that type of game out, the last one, 2K8, it didn't sell. You get what I'm saying?
It sold like shit. I agree,
Yeah,
man.
so-
You could buy it for like $10 or $20 within like a few weeks. So
But yeah, I think if they made a college though, that would be better.
They don't
You know
make it.
what I'm saying?
You know what they should do? The route they should take, if people really say they want the game to come out and they really want to support a football game, they should do a Kickstarter for it. That way, people is already paying up front to get the game made. You get what I'm saying? So they ain't taking that much of a chance by putting it out there and nobody buying it.
Okay, well, I guess that's a good way to do it. I got a question here for all you guys, and you guys can answer one by one. This is from Tony Sniff again. How would you feel if the next batch of Xbox One games are not in 1080p?
No, that's fine with me.
I don't care.
I don't care. Because one thing that we have thought we proven that resolution don't change graphics.
Hey, we still got the HANA chip. People forget about that.
You know what I'm saying? It don't change graphics. You know, graphics is what makes the game. You know, and then gameplay.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. As long as it's not like it's getting the Wii treatment, like the Wii used to get these shit versions of games. Or, you know, it would. The Wii would get shit versions of games that was on the 360 and PS3, right? As long as it's not getting the Wii treatment, it's a totally different game. If it's getting if it's the same goddamn gameplay, then who cares? Resolution doesn't change the game. What does change the game, and what nobody's talking about, is frames per second.
Yeah.
So I expect all you motherfuckers out there that are counting pixels to start counting fucking frames per second on every trailer, on every game from now on. How about that?
All right. I got some good ones here. Hold on, be heating up here. I got one from Maloro Omizio. I always fuck his name up. It's Maloro Beloved. He said, do you guys consider Smash Brothers being a true fighting game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hell no.
He asked that shit because he knew next year was gonna say no. Cause next year
I don't understand this shit anyway. I think it's the stupidest shit ever. I don't understand it. You got Kirby blowing fucking hell no. Fighting games, DOA, Tekken, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct. Those are Soul Calibur. Those are fighting.
He's a hater.
Isn't that a game that they have Smash Brothers at like Evo though, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Nintendo was trying to block that last year or something.
Yeah, they did, and then they quick and stopped that shit.
Nintendo's fucked. I mean, I don't. Like I said, I won't not. I don't like it. It's just not. I don't. I'm not into.
It's not your cup of tea, man.
Yeah, it's not much of fucking diet soda. Ew, fucking faggots. Nah.
Hey, got another question.
What's going on?
King Dre, he said, what is the next big feature you looking forward to be implemented on the Xbox or the PlayStation 4?
1080p.
No.
Shut the fuck up.
You know what? let me tackle this. For the,
I got one.
I got both ways. For the PlayStation 4, that suspense mode, like they showed at E3 last year, you know, being able to start a game, go to something, go back to it. I would love them to have that on the PS4. Like, yeah, I can be, you know, multitasking. Just put like the multitasking on the PlayStation 4. I would love to have that. And as far as the Xbox One, I got to get the Microsoft shit. Bring back my fucking voice messaging. I hate fucking typing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know well, I know what happened, but you know, once they took the fucking DRM from the Xbox One, the whole system was built upon DRM, so they had to start from scratch and you know get up and running. But bring me back my voice.
Yeah, I missed that. I hate the.
Me personally, it's the hard drive. I mean, we need that terabyte. Like,
I want the. I'm with Zaire. I want the voice messaging, but I also miss my damn gamer profile where I could put all my YouTube and my sites and all that shit in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta do it.
Yeah.
I gotta do it.
You gotta do what?
I gotta do it, John. I'm sorry.
What?
Don't fucking do it, man.
The next feature that I want is for them to be able to do cross chat with the 360.
Voice Xbox One.
It's impossible, damn it.
Oh,
It's not
shit.
impossible.
It's impossible.
Next question.
I'm sorry.
Leave that
Because you
alone.
keep taking shots don't mean it's impossible.
It's impossible.
It's not impossible.
What we got here? What do you believe would happen to Microsoft? Oh, it's nothing. From hustle overtime. What do you believe would happen to Microsoft if Sony drops their price to $349? The question is really, what do you think is going to happen to Sony? They're going to close their doors. Sony, if you don't know, and this is not me just popping shit. I'm gonna let these guys answer it. But
I'll answer it. I mean,
no, I'm just gonna say this: that it's a known fact. Because even when Sony came out and announced their price, Kojima was like, "The price is so low." Sony, the Xbox, the PlayStation 4 was supposed to be $500. And included the camera. They took the camera out and said $400. Sony already losing about $60 on each console, so they can't afford to, you know, knock it down an additional $50. I'm just being real. So I don't think nothing happened to Microsoft. Microsoft isn't advanced to play with their price. Drop 50, give you a free game. Sony can't afford to do that. You know what I mean? So I think they're just wishful thinking. You know what I mean? I don't think nothing really happened to Microsoft. And at the end of the day, you know, they can drop it down to $349, but at the end of the day, they still don't have any fucking exclusives on any games. And
Hey, can I say this though? This whole thing was a rumor based on Michael Pachter, who's an analyst, and he didn't say they were going to lower the price. He said that Microsoft would have to remove a Kinect, or they'd be screwed if Sony were to lower it. Why would Sony, who sold 7 million units and it looks like they're not going to slow down sales of these things, why would they all of a sudden cut the price when they're already selling out or supposedly selling out? You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't do that. When before have you seen a price cut this soon into a generation? The only reason why Microsoft would do it is because they're Microsoft and they probably should have been at a more competitive price, but they wanted to make money on the hardware, and they were able to do that originally. But eventually, being only in 13 territories, you have to be competitive in North America first and foremost. And Americans are, if anything, they're cheap bastards. So, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna want to get the cheapest thing.
yeah.
You know, you got to be on equal ground.
I think that could be the killer. Okay, I think we asked about these. I guess we could say it again. This guy named Lakes Chucks. What do you guys think would be a killer app for the Xbox One?
What about the same?
Killer app?
Killer app or killer game?
Killer app. Well,
Oh man, my app that I'm waiting for, that I'm excited about, is that NFL app. I cannot wait
The
for
wrestling
them
app just
to
came
do
out,
that.
right?
Screw wrestling.
Yeah.
The NFL app where they showing your games in 1080p, 60 frames per second.
I'm actually looking
can't wait
forward
for
to
that.
their original content, their TV content that they're producing.
Did you hear they're gonna possibly make a State of Decay like zombie movie or a show?
Sure, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, because basically, and I actually said this might happen at E3. Undead Labs, who Microsoft has multi-year, multi-game deal with, and Microsoft owns the State of Decay IP. They were working on a game called Class 4. It was going to be an MMO for the Xbox 360. They put that on hold and did the State of Decay game, which is it's just a single-player zombie game. All right, they've been given the go-ahead to do this thing as codenamed Class 4. It's an MMO zombie game that's going to come out on the Xbox One. I got a feeling we might see something on this year at E3, and to coincide with that, why not do a kick-ass zombie show since it's all the rage these days, and you got people that like The Walking Dead. And I will say the first year and a half of The Walking Dead was really good. They could do something really good, and we know that Halo is going to be in production with Showtime. So that's going to be pretty big, because we all know.
Showtime combined? Oh,
yeah, Showtime is going to produce it. It's going to show on Showtime first, and then like later in the week it'll show on Xbox.
Yeah.
So that's what they're going to do. And this is what I would say, right? This is the exact right way to go about the content for games, because how many times have we seen shitty movie games, you know what I'm saying, or movies based on games?
House of the
Dead.
Yeah,
it happens all the time. And that's because it's hard to fit an entire game that's usually at least 10 hours, but often more, into an hour and a half, 2-hour movie. It makes more sense to base it on a series where you can get, 12, 13 episodes a season out, and I think that makes the most sense. And so, like, that whole E.T. cart dig and everything really intrigues me, and I'm impressed by this stuff. And, like, I'm not ashamed to admit, I'm going to watch the Halo series, the E.T. dig. I'm into that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's great as a gamer. I like gaming-related content, and I think that that's really good and smart move by Microsoft.
Oh, okay. Well, I got a question for you guys. What not a question statement from D. Alex. I heard they're making. We talked about this last week, but we can chime in again. I heard they're making the Xbox Portable. Do you think we might see it at E3?
No. That article was from 2012.
Was that on Polygon?
That Surface tablet thing?
No, that was 2012.
That was from 2012.
They talked about the Xbox One, didn't they? An article last week.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. There was an article we just talked about. Was it last Sunday? Was it Polygon? I don't think that's in 2012, did it?
Yeah.
Hold on. You know what? I think if you're talking about The Verge, it was that Verge article, right?
Yeah, that was 2012.
Yeah, from 2012, because I was reading it and they called it the Xbox 720.
Yeah.
Oh. No, I don't know. That was all talking about we might get it. My dumbass.
No, they're not going to release a tablet.
If you let you use the controller,
I mean, they're not going to release a handheld. They already have tablets. Microsoft has tablets, but they're not. You can tie your Xbox account to the Surface, but it's not a gaming tablet per se.
All right. From Pat-Man, do you guys think that these new dev kits that would be Xbox for the Xbox One, given that will let the Xbox One do 1080p, 60 frames per second, or better than the PS4 without DirectX 12?
Oh my God.
Pat-Man, optimization is everything. And I say it again. You can have the most powerful console in the world, but if you don't have the tools to extract the power from the console, it means shit. Now, like I said, I will give to Sony. Their kits and stuff a little bit more mature than Microsoft's. But like I said, thinking that the Xbox One cannot do 1080p 60 frames per second is the silliest shit in the world. Yeah.
I would say that it shouldn't matter to you as long as the games are fun. Don't worry about what resolution it's in.
Yeah. And if it does matter to you, then
if you absolutely want that on every single game, then invest a bunch of money in a PC.
Well, I guess, but I guess if you're a console owner, I'm not saying, we got to think about this crap. It may not mean the world to us. Like I said, games don't look. I have a great TV. I understand everybody may not have a TV like I have, or whatever the case may be, and it may matter to some. But what Microsoft does have, like I said it again, they have upscaler in that motherfucker, and they're not damage controlling. And the 2.0 is second to fucking none. You know what I mean? It is what it is, but like I said, they still haven't given developers back that 8% back in the GPU. They still haven't done that yet. You know what I mean?
Hey, there's two quick questions in here that I want to address. All right, there's one from YVito125. He says, "What do you guys expect from Sunset Overdrive? I heard it's only a single-player campaign. That's kind of disappointing." You heard wrong. It's got a multiplayer component. And I've heard
everything Microsoft do gonna have a
God,
multiplayer
yeah,
component.
it's got a multiplayer component. That was a miss. That was
I
a
don't
That's the
miss.
whole
understand.
purpose
It
of
wasn't
live.
even,
I mean,
listen,
you know,
it wasn't even missed. All you have to do is read the article.
Yeah, read
People
the
don't
article.
read. It
It was
says single player only campaign plus the developer has big plans for the multiplayer.
yeah,
multiplayer.
it has multiplayer. Okay, so there that goes. And Cage Raccoon says, being in only 13 regions and all 13 regions are Microsoft's strongest regions. Okay, but let me ask you this: people always say this, but you think they're going to sell big in these other regions? Okay, they don't have to sell big, but dipshits, selling something is better than selling nothing. Right now, they're selling nothing in these other regions, so obviously selling something is going to be better. Something better than nothing, you
But
fucking retards.
nah, Cage is cool. But check it out though. Look at it like this. Sony's out in 75 countries or whatever the fuck.
70,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, right.
70.
Yeah, whatever, 70, whatever the fuck. And right now I have about a 2 million lead on the PlayStation, on the Xbox One. You don't think Microsoft can sell 2 million consoles in 60 places? Like, I don't care if they sell 10.
I don't know why. I mean, look, if you just want to be the kid in class with the thing that everybody else has, then I don't understand that mentality. I mean, I don't have stock in Sony, so if they sell,
Xbox One is selling great. I don't know why this misconception.
yeah, I mean, it's just buy what you. I mean, if you're just gonna buy something because everybody else bought it, then I don't understand that. So
But you know what? People have this misconception that the Xbox is not selling. It sold over 300,000 goddamn units last month.
yeah, I mean, who cares? I just don't care.
And,
You know what I
and
mean?
the most expensive console on the market. Between the big three, Nintendo was the cheapest. What it cost, $250. Microsoft was $500.
Yeah.
And it's sold over 300,000 goddamn. The Xbox One is fine. It's not going anywhere. You know what I mean? It is what it is, man. Like you said, we shall see. We shall see. Do we have like 2 more questions before we close this motherfucker out?
Yeah, you got 10 minutes till Fairies and Dragons. So hurry up.
Faggots. We got here. Let me read. Okay, I got here. Are you guys excited for Mass Effect 4? And can guarantee they will show it at 18? I can't guarantee it,
No.
but yes, I am excited for Mass Effect 4. Hell, fuck.
Hey, they're gonna show it. They said they're over halfway done. They're definitely gonna show something from it.
Are you excited for the rumored HD all 3 games?
I beat them already. I don't.
I already beat those games.
I'm not gonna buy
In fact, I beat them on multiple consoles.
Yeah.
And I'm not looking forward to that. That's just, I don't know. There's some people that didn't play them, I guess, or whatever the case, but I'm not looking forward to that at all. At all.
Of course, we know the Xbox One versions won't be in 1080p, so why bother?
Yeah. You know what?
Even last gen games it can't handle.
Yeah.
I want to say this, and since they're doing all these older remakes of older games from last generation, they let us know that we're gonna get a fucking Grand Theft Auto on the Xbox One and the PS4.
Dude, but the question about Grand Theft Auto is 30-odd million copies were already sold. Is there any more copies to be sold?
I didn't buy it. I didn't play it. I
didn't buy it neither.
I didn't buy it because it came up too close to the Xbox One and the PS4.
Yeah, man.
I wouldn't. I
got that shit. I still haven't finished it, but I got it.
Yeah, okay. It says here, child lover Zaire still wears the same sweater. This is broke ass.
Don't worry, I'm gonna mail him some clothes for the next podcast.
Yeah, bitch, trust me, I got more money than your father. Okay, we got any more questions here? What do you think? Okay. You beat the who up? Yeah, Floyd, the great fight. And Joe said about this too. Great fucking fight. It was a dirty fight. The ref should have fucking. I'll play this. The ref made that fight. Again, listen to what I'm saying. The ref made that fight closer to what it had than it should have been. The ref should have gave that guy some points and deduction and took the better control of that fight. That guy was dirty as fuck. He fucking head, fucking low blows. He kneed Floyd. Like, it was just some dirty shit. And he wasn't really even warned or given a strict and stern warning. Like, that was suck. Like, I don't think Tony Weeks should ever do another big time fight. I'm serious, man. And I don't hate on nobody. He did a bad job officiating that fight. Do we have one last question, game related? Let me see. Okay. When Microsoft drops the Xbox One to $399 and the games for 1 year sub, it will be a buy for many. He said when the Xbox One goes down to $400 and come with a game and 1 year subscription, that's just too much. God damn, a game in.
Hey,
Fuck, man. Hey,
Whoa.
do you want them to come over there and pay your
2
house?
controllers.
You want them to fucking?
I want everything.
Yeah, they're gonna make your house payment, your car payment, your insurance. Yeah, why don't they go ahead and fucking do that?
I say this, bro. I
The
think
government already does that.
I think if you bought a Wii U for three. They're in the room, okay. I think this guy here, Papillion, he's cool dude. I think he's a Nintendo dude, but I can say, bro, you bought the Wii U for $350 with an 8 gig hard drive or something. You should
Yeah.
be about nothing.
Yeah.
I'm just being real. Comparing the Wii U to the Xbox One, even the PS4, is not even fucking comparable. You know, just being honest, man. But is there anything you guys want to add?
Oh, someone real quick is like, when does Cortana come out? We don't know. It's already out on the Windows Phone though, and it works pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's how you guys heard anything about Rise 2?
It's in development, is what I heard.
Oh shit! Now listen, Rise 2. For that game to be epic and to be fucking awesome, they need to let you upgrade your fucking weapons.
Yep, I agree.
And give you something like.
You should be able to use multiple different weapons and shields and stuff.
That's what I'm talking about. It's let you be able to use weapons. If, pick some shit up like the Battlefield, like, God of War. See what I mean? Like, be able to add shit to it, because fucking Kratos a kick-ass motherfucker. I don't know who I don't know. I believe, didn't Old Boy die? Didn't he die at the end of, Old Boy died at the end of Rise. Didn't he crap?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe they got a new protagonist or something. Like, I don't know. But, you guys want to say anything before we haul ass?
I just want to say, worry about games. Stop fucking counting pixels on.
I thought you were gonna say fuck Sony, man. What happened? I thought you were gonna say fuck Sony.
Yeah, fuck Sony, man. They're a bunch of clowns, man. Hey, I hope Yoshida falls on his way up to the stage.
Oh shit! Drops his toupee.
Drops his
cross
fucking
game. Cross game chat between the Xbox One.
Oh,
impossible.
And the 360. Make it happen, Microsoft. That's what I want to say. Make it happen.
What?
It's dragons and fairies time.
Yeah, it's getting close. That's why he's trying to haul ass right now.
I ain't got nothing.
About here right now, man.
Oh, man. Just enjoy games.
He want a pet dragon, man. I'm telling you, that's what next gen. He see that little dragon, he said, man, I want one of them, man. I'm gonna give you one. I'm gonna give you one.
Coming out, watching the show every Sunday, especially to the guys that are here every week, even the haters. Even to some of the new guys, Cage Raccoon, HK Well, even though he busts his little balls, I think he is a fan of the show. He's here every Sunday faithfully. D. Alex, when you guys want to see your shout outs to your favorite subs, come on, we're closing out. Come on.
Psycho Gamer, I don't know if he made it today. I'm going to say my boy Pat, man, he been following me forever. What's up, homie?
Hey, Yomo Flowtech, dude, he's always
Yomo Flow, yeah.
Yomo Flowtech, my man Matthew the Great.
Lace
you know what I'm saying? Wild 74. Shout out to them, man.
Oh, Peter, 5747. Sup with you? Yeah, that's another one. He been following us forever.
Little bro, Amizio, I can't pronounce your name, but you know who the fuck I'm talking to. All you guys, man, Tony Sniff, all you guys, appreciate all.
Oh yeah, D. Alex, what's up, man?
Yeah, man.
You guys rocking the show, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and if any of you guys' grandmothers are single, give me my fucking number. My Skype name is Zaire720, and yeah, I got 3 testicles. Holla at me. Bang, bang, bitches. Bang, bang.